It looks like a perfectly preserved artifact from another era. This is Asmara, a city defined by pristine 1930s Italian Art Deco architecture sitting quietly on the Horn of Africa. But if you pull out a smartphone here, the vintage charm vanishes. You'll find 0 signal bars, no connection to the outside world. While over 5 billion people are currently lit up and pulsing on the global network, this specific stretch of the Red Sea coast remains entirely dark. Eritrea operates with near 0 public internet access. State administrative controls maintain this information vacuum. For 99% of the population, the digital world is non-existent, replaced by a system of physical and economic barriers. To understand how this nation remains frozen in the past, we must deconstruct the borders, the paper currency, and the surveillance that keep the 21st century locked out. Entering Eritrea is a massive logistical challenge. Practically all nationalities require complex, pre-arranged paper visas. There is a single $70 cash-on-arrival exception, but you can only claim it if you are part of an official, state-vetted tour group. Getting through passport control is only the first layer. Once you are inside the country, independent travel is strictly illegal. You cannot even step outside the capital city limits without applying for physical paper permits at the Ministry of Tourism, requiring military clearance just to drive down the highway. This foundational layer of isolation relies on total physical containment, ensuring that both foreigners and citizens remain within easily monitored geographic boundaries. That containment extends to the economy. Renting a basic one-bedroom apartment in Asmara costs between $200 and $450, but international credit cards and ATMs do not function anywhere in the country. The entire economy runs on physical cash. By forcing every transaction into paper nakfa, the state isolates its citizens from global digital finance and tracks domestic activity with precision. This chart tracks median local wages. When compared to neighboring East African nations, the economic floor in Eritrea is startlingly low. Locals earn a median wage of just $90 to $150 a month after tax. Finding better work is nearly impossible. The job market is governed by subsistence agriculture and intense state-run gold and copper mining operations. The only other major sector operates out of the maritime ports. Foreign job opportunities are practically 0 for the public, restricted primarily to diplomatic missions or specialized engineering crews. By pairing unlivable wages with a cash-only, internet-free economy, the state ensures its citizens are consumed entirely by the daily mechanics of sheer survival. Yet, amid this financial restriction, Asmara holds a bizarre statistic. Violent street crime against tourists is almost non-existent. You can walk through the capital at night in absolute safety. That safety is a byproduct of control. The streets are calm because they operate under extreme, totalitarian state surveillance and heavy military policing. Under the watch of those soldiers, an elite Italian coffee culture persists. Locals gather on quiet patios for world-class macchiatos and stone-baked pizzas, relics of a complex colonial history. The daily lifestyle is deeply traditional and quiet, anchored by communal meals of spicy beef stew, served over massive platters of sourdough and injera. This peaceful street life is a direct result of the fortress walls. Absolute societal security in Eritrea requires the total sacrifice of personal freedom. The architecture of the capital reflects this deep freeze. Asmara is a designated UNESCO World Heritage Site, holding the most concentrated collection of intact 1930s futurist buildings on Earth. Walking through the city feels exactly like standing on a vintage Italian film set. But these facades only survived because foreign development and digital modernization were forcefully locked out at the borders. Would you survive trading your internet access and global connection for a perfectly preserved, crime-free reality? Let us know below. For our next stop, we are traveling to the ultimate antithesis of the fortress. We are now heading to Estonia, the hyper-digitalized, paperwork-free capital of Europe. Subscribe to stay real, because whether a nation builds its walls out of digital data or physical borders, that architecture ultimately dictates the reality of its people.